Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Net Producer Magazine, reporting to you from the annual Tree Vine Expo held this year at the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds. We had a great turnout today, a lot of almond growers as well, and we had a presentation led by the Almond Board of California talking about the Almond Board, orchard goals.
Yes, our 2025,
the 2025 goals.
Yeah,
and one of those objectives was zero waste, and that's a pretty lofty goal, right? Because there's always waste. There's always matter can neither be created nor destroyed, right?
Right.
So
you want to make the best use of it.
Right. So I wanted to talk. This is Christine Gemperle. She is an almond grower that's not far from the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds here in Turlock.
Right, about 15 minutes outside of town.
Great. And she was one of the panelists at today's discussion with the Almond Board. Could you tell us a little bit about zero waste and what that means to you?
Well, zero waste, it's about using everything that we produce in the orchard. So with the almond, for example, we have the meat, which everybody knows because that's what we eat, that's what you sell. And according to everybody else, that's what we're farming. But the truth is we also produce a shell and we produce a hull. And we know the hull has gone into the dairy industry, so it hasn't been wasted there. But we're finding that there are so many greater uses for the hull because they are full of all sorts of sugars and antioxidants. And they have a tremendous moisture holding capacity as well. And then the shell, there's a lot of value in the shell as well. It can be torrefied and put into plastics to make plastics stronger. And then what I talked about today was whole orchard recycling, which is when you grind up your entire orchard and you incorporate it back into the soil. And there's going to be a lot of benefits. So first of all, we don't want to burn that because that's just a no-brainer. We just can't be burning stuff anymore.
We're having enough wildfires as
right,
it is.
Exactly.
We don't need any more smoke in the air.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to burn any more wood. And the benefits of putting it into your soil, or you're going to probably find that it's super good for the soil because as it breaks down, it's releasing all this organic matter into your soil. So you can expect to see that you'll have greater water holding capacity and greater availability of nutrients after the first 2 years. The first 2 years, you're probably going to need to put nitrogen on, but after that, you're going to really see the benefits of that being there. And you're also not transporting it off-site. So it's all this carbon that's just staying on site and going back into the soil instead of being released.
Right. And what about the pest activity, soil microbial activity and bugs, how are they going to be impacted by, this whole orchard recycling? Have you thought about that or learned anything
My
about
guess is that, and I don't have the exact research in front of me, but you're going to see a stronger and probably more diverse microbial community in your soil, and that's always to your benefit. And more to your tree's benefit.
Right. So, and how prevalent do you think? I know we've talked. Brent Holtz has really been ongoing with whole orchard recycling and the research. So the research is there.
Yes.
And as far as the cost of it, that's still in flux.
Cost of doing the whole orchard recycling.
Right.
Yeah, the cost. There are some costs that are associated, extra ones that are associated with it. I mean, you're still going to bring your grinder in no matter what you're doing. If you're going to haul it off and have it go to cogeneration. But, you're having these added steps of having it spread throughout your orchard and then going and working it into the soil, preferably with like a plow and then with a disc. And so you're doing a lot more passes. But there actually are incentives out there that growers can get through the San Joaquin Air Pollution Control District. They are now incentivizing this so that you can get funds to help pay for it.
Great, because it might be a little more expensive than
exactly.
The traditional methods of removing your trees.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about farming and moving towards sustainable practices is that it's the right thing to do, but it does come at a cost. And at the end of the day, the farmer needs to know, am I in the red and am I in black, am I in the black? Because I want to stay in business. And sometimes to make that step, we do need a little bit of help,
Right. Well, thank you for your input and your example in the industry. You know, the right road, the right path is not an easy one
No.
to tread. And I think the almond industry is moving in a great direction. Obviously, the growers, you're great people.
We want to
You
set
know,
the standard. I mean, I'm really proud to be an almond farmer and be part of this board that is moving us in this direction. And they are doing so much of the work. What people may not understand why the Almond Board exists, because as a farmer, we can't just go out and get all this information on our own. We can't develop these new methods. We can't develop because we're busy farming.
Right.
And it really, you know, the money we put towards the Almond Board makes all that happen. So.
Great. Well, thank you, Christine. Read more about these things in Pacific Nut Producer Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.